Everybody's here. Jaima, thank you so much for joining us. And I just wanted to say, Nityananda was very, very important to me and to Kali Mandir, and grateful to Swami Chetanananda for introducing me to his family in 1986. And I took a small video in the late 80s. So I think to refresh people's mind about Nityananda, we'll just play it. So
okay, give me a second.
Wonderful.
I'll play the video. Hold on.
I am actually working with Ramakrishna Mission Narendrapur for about 28 years, and I am working with the backward classes of India. We call them Harijan, and actually we are trying to develop their economic condition and as well as housing and health. And we think that we are somewhat successful. And I will pray to God, or Thakur, you can say, that He will give me the path, show me the path, just to guide them.
Wow.
Wow.
It's amazing. Nityananda
Beautiful.
was the most distinguished, most conservative man, and he lived in the slums in the red light district of North Calcutta. And I'm very grateful to him because I got to experience North Calcutta. How beautiful, how artistic, all the artists live there. Kumatoli, it is a most amazing place. So also, I was very, very moved every time I asked Nityananda to bring me something for Kali Mandir, to collect something. And he always would say, I shall collect this for you. And whenever he gave it to me, it was always the highest quality. And I was always amazed, how can he find these wonderful things in the slums? And he always did. So I was thinking, if he always gave us his best, we should also give him our best. So I asked a genius level musician to play for Nityananda's memorial. So I think if we can put Kamalakanta, can you introduce Vijay, please?
Yes, Jaima. Vijay Gupta is a friend of mine, and he's a very accomplished violinist. He's born to a Bengali family, devotees of Thakur and Shardama in New York. And at a very young age, he was playing at Juilliard, like as a boy. And he was hired, he's the youngest violinist that was ever hired by the Los Angeles Philharmonic. I think he was 17 or 18. And and he has a degree in science too. He's one of those Bengali geniuses. He's also dedicated his time to an organization he founded called the Street Symphony. And bless you. They dedicate their free time, musicians from the Philharmonic, to play classical music for the homeless community in Skid Row in Los Angeles. They also teach them music. They invite them to come and sing. They have formed a choir, and so they performed like Handel's Messiah with the homeless community. He's very active in that. So he founded Street Symphony. And then 1 year ago, he received the MacArthur Fellowship, which is one of the most prestigious grants, and for his music and his social work. And so now he continues to do that. So when Ushama, he's very close to the Kali Mandir. When Ushama told him about Nitaida, he was very moved for the work that he's done. So he offered this piece that he will play that was composed by his wife. His wife is a composer of classical music called Varsha. And he said that it's in a raga or inspired by a raga that relates to the rain. I think it's like in Malhar, from the story that Ushama shared about being in the flood in the rain with Nitaida. So that's the little introduction of him, of Vijay Gupta.
you, Vijay. That was fantastic.
Haunting.
Very, very beautiful. Everybody here. So I don't know, Swamiji, would you want to speak a few words or should I keep going?
First, shall I speak or Rampriya Das will sing or something? So you told me.
Well, I was gonna just say that Nitai Da lived for I think over 40 years in the slums there with all the slum dwellers, and he was not a man of a lot of words, but through his actions. I saw how he treated his staff members and how they loved him and so on. And it was amazing how I also got introduced to the poor of the dignity, the honor, the love. I learned a lot from Nitai Das through circumstances. And I also took quite a few from Kali Mandir, Swami Bhajananda met, Swami Ambikananda, I think Prakash, Rampriya Das. We went to the Chitpur Road one day, and would you like to say a couple words and then sing?
Yes, I forget what I think that was 2000, maybe 10 or so, but I didn't really know. I remember walking to his office. I didn't really know who I was really meeting. I only knew that it was Swamiji's brother, so I was excited to meet, somebody of his family. But um, I remember very well him serving us tea in his office, and like you were saying, just most unassuming. I had no idea of the work that he had done or was doing or anything like this until after we met him. You Ushama told me, but I would have never have guessed that because he was so unassuming. But that day he took us shopping in Calcutta and we went to Chitpur Road, and I had never been to a place like that before, and it was just very, very wild. And I remember we were sitting at this shop, and I was sitting in this chair while Nitada and Ushama were bargaining with a shopkeeper, and I remember just sitting there, and at one point these huge cockroaches kind of fell from the sky and landed right next to my chair. And I remember looking at Ushama, and Nitada was just like, it didn't faze him. But one of the things I only got to spend those few hours with him, not like obviously many people here who got to spend much more time with him, but I think the thing that touched me so greatly, and I can remember it very well, specifically when we were shopping for chummers. Everybody was Nitai Das family. Every shopkeeper, every person, stranger, he treated with such playfulness, really, and he would bargain, but he bargained in such a beautiful, playful way, like he was with a family member, trying to get something from, a brother or sister. And that greatly touched me. Just it really reminded me of Shardama's words of, make the whole world your own. No one's a stranger. I really felt like just in that short time, I got to see that lived. And that was just, for a few hours, and that memory sticks with me. But it was a very wonderful, wild day on Chitpur Road with Nitaida and Ushama. So should I sing this quick song? This song was taught to me by Parvati Baul, and Maharaj, you can correct me, I don't know, but according to her, this singer Nilakanta Mukhopadhyay Thakur liked very much. And he liked this song very much, and he would actually call this singer from the village often to come sing for him. That's the story, I guess. But anyway, I shall sing this song for Nitaida. Can you hear okay?
Yes, very nice.
Om Shri Shri Guru Paro Guru Sham Matrosha maye lokeshi jaya ma jogishi o maye lokeshi jaya ma jogishi Jogendra Mohishi Nogendra Balike Jogendra Mohishi Nogendra Balike Jaya Makalike Nirmunda Malike Jaya Makalike Nirmunda Malike Sarveshwari Shamama Sarvatra Vapike Om Maye Lokeshi Jaya Ma Jogishi Tumi Murti Mrinmoyi Shikare Kalyani Shwargadame Shorbo Mangala Rupini Shorborajo Dware Birajo Rukmini Shorborajo Dware Birajo Rukmini Ambika Nagare Hauma Ambike O Maye Lokeshi Jaya Mahajogishi Shamama Ma Tumi Kamarupe Kali Kama Prodayani Jwalamuke Jale Jayanto Yogini Kali Gate Kali Koibolyo Daini Kali Gate Kali Koibolyo Daini Tara Pite Tara Trita Ponashike Tara Pite Tara Trita Ponashike Tara Pite Tara Trita Ponashike O Maye Lokeshi Jaya Mahajogishi O Maye Lokeshi Jaya Mahajogishi Tumi Prabhate Kumari Madhyane Jubati Shayane Bridani Hauniti Niti Shridam Navadvipe Nila Saraswati Shridam Navadvipe Nila Saraswati Nilo Kante Ananda Daike Nilo Kante Ananda Daike O Maye Lokeshi Jaya Mahajogishi O Maye Lokeshi Jaya Mahajogishi O Maye Lokeshi Jaya Mahajogishi Jai Guru.
Guru, Jai Guru. Itaida worked with the Purvi.
Beautiful.
so good at that that actually the old people, they learned cane work, that they made Durga Puja panels just out of cane and became very famous. And I think Jayashri, you worked with Nityananda a little bit on cane for your project, right? Jayashri?
Oh, yes. Shama.
She's asking that Ushama's mic is a little bit low, but she was just asking that you worked on the cane with Nityananda.
Yes, yes. He was getting the cane. Excuse me. The cane was coming from the islands, Nicobar Andaman Islands, and it was the best quality cane that one could get. It was expensive, but they were making such delicate, particularly those storytelling things that go on top of the murtis and have the very intricate work. And they were being commissioned by some of the biggest pandals in the North Calcutta area. I had some chance to spend some time when they were learning, or I actually even was able to buy a few small pieces of furniture and so on. It was, as Usha said earlier, Ushama, everything that Nityananda would touch had to be perfect. It was all about perfection. And as Rampriya Das mentioned, it was always gently imparted to all the students, but he was able to convince everybody to raise the standards. And he would raise his own standards were high, and everybody willingly, which was not the case for the other workers in the area. People were doing slipshod work, but Nityananda was very particular. And without any rancor or any, pushback, the youngsters would join him. It was amazing to see, absolutely amazing. He was so patient, so gentle, and people all around him would be making noise, losing their temper. But I mean, he was just dispassion. And even looking at him, I would calm down. Yes.
That's true.
I met him in January, and I had a chance to spend an evening. And I remember that I had very bad traffic, and we got lost. And I had some people with me that shouldn't have been with me, but we had no choice. And Nitai just very patiently guided us through the whole thing and waited for us quite late at night, served us a beautiful meal that his niece and others, and he stayed completely cheerful, and he stood the whole time. And only afterwards, when I was walking out and I was talking to the lady, that she said he had not been well all day. And I was just, it was just amazing. He never showed anything on his face, and the whole time he was so hospitable, so gentle, so patient, and just constantly reminding us everything is okay, everything is all right. There was a procession outside, and there was all kinds of police and roadblocks, but I can picture him tall, strong. He looked tall, strong, walking us to the car, smiling, not a little furrow on his. And later I found out from the lady, the niece, that he had been quite ill all day. I mean, and he had nothing but positive words for everybody all the time. and he always spoke with the same even tone.
Hmm.
Never raised his voice, never, but always with a big smile. I remember traveling with him from Nimpit to Kakdweep and meeting all the other Swamis, and took us on a tour. And the whole time, everybody that met him, it was like bowing down, just like a holy man, as would I. Swamiji, yeah, he was such a holy person.
Miss. Maganda.
You know, miss him.
Thank you, Jayasri.
Hmm.
Oh, we can't hear you, Shama.
Oh,
There you go.
can you hear me? Thank you, Jayashree. Swamiji, would you like to speak a few words, and then we can conclude with or anybody else wants to speak anything? Yeah.
Keep Kamalakanta at last.
Yes.
Kalyani.
Kalyani.
I just want to say I will always remember the time I spent with Nitai Da in 2007. He took us on a tour of the slums and some of the workshops there, and like we saw the caning factory or workshop where the men were working, and a room where girls and women were sewing on, you know, machines where they had to go like this with their feet to make the machines go. And the medical dispensary, and this little cultural after school program for children where they were learning arts like crafts and singing and dancing. And the way the people revered him, it was really something. He did so much good there. And, you know, the pride in the work of those people was really something to see.
All right. Thank you, Kalyani. Usha. Bhajananda, next I shall speak now.
Swami, you speak.
Yes.
You can speak, Swamiji.
All right. Will you bring you me on the front, or what? How does your
You'll come
mission
to the
work?
front, Swamiji. You're automatically everybody's friend.
Okay.
You can speak.
So now I can speak.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you a little bit a story which is good, so that those who came in contact with him know a little bit better. I was born in 1936, and Nitai was born 15th March 1942, and he died 9th November 2020. He was 77 years old. And we are 5 brothers, 5 sisters. Nitai is the youngest. And we are in a village. India was partitioned in 1947. In 1950, 21st April 1950 at midnight, at 2 o'clock at night, we left home. By boat, came to Khulna town, took the train, and Nitai was 7, 8 years old. I was 14. My parents, Nitai, Ami, myself, and our servant, we 5 came to Barakpur, my sister's place. We are refugees overnight. My father had quite well-to-do person. Then I went to school. I think it's when situation changed, my father has a lot of property. So my father and mother again returned home. We have a big house, we have temples. Then Nitai also went back. Then I went to college and I finished I was trying to go to the university in 1957. Then in 58, I came to Advaita Ashrama as a proofreader, editor. Then I took Nitai to school where I was in Barakpur and got his admission, introduced to my teachers. Then I was thinking to join the order. So Nitai was very fortunate that Ramakrishna Mission Narendapur took him. Swami Lokeswarananda was very fond of him. So he went to Narendapur and I got the chance to join the monastery. But during this period, 1958 to 1960, I was working in a bank to help him to go to school, to go to college. Then when he was taken to Ramakrishna Mission, I joined. My friends are very happy. Then I think it was 1963, Swami Lokeswarananda sent him to Rambagan, which is central part of Calcutta, Islam, the murder. It was very bad area, very bad. And now that place is like heaven, which is Ramakrishna Mission's work. And my brother gave his life there. So from 1963, I think till 2003 or something, he was the in charge. But he was in the committee member. But he never left Islam. He from the big building, Janakalyan Parishad, as Kalyani was talking, what work they did, that is a very amazing thing. The Ramakrishna Mission, they have a night school for the old people, adult school, then the children's school, then they have a Janakalyan place, then the women learn sewing, then they made the cane and the bamboo, all these furnitures. Then they used to make all these pandal, Calcutta, all these beautiful, beautiful pandals you see. You see, they understood that if you bring and improve the economic condition of the people, then the crime rate and all these bad things will go away from the society. And he took a very, very active part. Not only that, there's one man, Shiv Shankar Chakraborty. He raised some money from Germany, from England, from America, and they wanted to remove the slum into the housing complex. What did they do? They took one chunk of slum, take the people out, and there they built the 4-story building, 2 bedrooms, 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom. Beautiful. In this way, the whole slum was removed and this housing complex. One of our devotees gave me $20,000. I gave to him. At that time, Swami Chetananandaji was the head. I gave, well, make 1 building for this purpose. Then I asked, why don't you take 1 apartment? No, he did not want to take anything from the poor people. Not only that, he wanted to sell their products to the markets. Marketing is very, very important. So he was connected with different organizations. They will export all this cane and beautiful, beautiful furniture these people used to make. And musicians in Belur Math, when the Durga Puja and Kali Puja or the Shakur Puja, there is a call Nahabat. And they play the Shanai, music and drum. All comes from the Rambagan people. This my brother did it, and he gave his whole life for the poor people. And later on, when he retired, but he was still that member and the active. He was guiding the Ramakrishna Mission, that Rambagan. He stayed till the last day there. Of course, recently he moved to near Badwipur, my grandniece's place, because of the corona, and he was not well. He had high diabetes, and I went to 2007. We had my uncle was a judge and he built a temple, and the temple was a very dilapidated condition. So I gave some money, and they, with the permission of Ramakrishna Mission, Swami Chetananandaji, General Secretary, I said, Maharaj, I am giving, a devotee gave some money. I did not have money. Well, I want to give some money so that in Bangladesh, the Hindus holding the temples, the religion, they survive, especially Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission is a voice in Bangladesh. Please, then he said, please help them. So 2007, we dedicated that, remodeled the whole temple. Thousands of people came. You know, that is my first visit to Bangladesh after 50 years. I left 57 finally, and then I went to 2007. Nitai was with me. Then after three times I went to Bangladesh, he was with my companion. The last year I went, I could not take him because he was not well. But he was my Calcutta agent. I wanted to help poor people, very old sadhus, many things. I used to send some money to him and he used to distribute. He used to distribute the monks who is going for tapasya in the Himalayas or any sick monks. This way, he was my Calcutta agent. I needed the book, I need the calendar, I need my clothes, shirts, shopping, everything he used to do for me. So, but you know, he is very, very Atma Prachar Bimukh. He never advertised himself, a very low profile. But I tell you frankly, he is my younger brother. I know very little about him. I know very little about him. One of my grandnieces' husband sent me some information. I did not know all those things, that he got an offer in Air Force, Indian Air Force. He rejected. No, I want to work for Islam. I want to work for the poor people. All these things I did not know. He never talked to me. And then he was not well, but whenever he has any problem, I can go to Shiva Buddhism, check up this, that, you know, I always encouraged him. But he neglected a lot for himself. And then recently what happened, every week he used to call me. How are you doing? This, that, always inquire. And I get all information of my brothers, sisters to him. He used to keep in touch. The person who is poor, doesn't have money, he will serve, he will give money to them. That person died, he will help. He gives really, really sacrifices his life for others, never married, and amazing person. She's really, as I tell you, my younger brother, I know very little about him. But what happened Friday, 6th of November, it was evening. We are in Calcutta, 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. I got a telephone call. My grandniece called that the dadu, grandniece, I had some kind of bladder infection. Some blood is coming through urine. What shall we do? Then can take him to the hospital, Shiva Buddhism. Nowadays, it is very difficult to get any admission in the hospital. So what happened, Shiva Buddhism, they were thinking that, my goodness, then if they do not admit him, I told him, I'm going to call him. So I called Shiva Buddhism, the Swami who generally in charge. I told him, my brother is burning, please take him right now. Well, all right, send him. So they arrived there at 9:30. Then the doctors and some emergency, they said, no, we cannot take him. And this, my grandniece and her husband, they're helpless. They came 2 hours drive from that far away. What to do? Then they again called me. I called the head Swami, uncle, right now take him. So they have so much love, respect for me. They took him, they admitted him. It was Friday night at 11 o'clock. Now the condition in hospital that without corona test, they will not take you to the general ward. So they put it in a big hall where they are waiting for the corona test result. So Saturday, they took the sample, sent to the peerless, and the report came in the evening, negative. He had no corona. So then they transferred him to the general ward. It was Sunday morning. Then Sunday evening, I talked to him. Uncle, how are you? Are you getting right food? This, that. Nearly 3-4 minutes I talked to him. But with my grandniece and her husband, they stayed in Calcutta, in Rambagan, in that Nitai had an apartment. In that apartment, those 2 kids, they stayed Friday night, Saturday night. Sunday morning at 6:20, sorry, Monday morning at 6:20, Nitai had a heart attack and died. Then she was, my grandniece was crying. And then I called the Swami. Swami says, Maharaj, we tried. He had a massive heart attack, died. That much. Then I thought what to do. Then I called Barakpur, my another nephew, 2 nephews and their nephew's wife. They all went by car to Shiva Pratishthan. Then I was thinking, well, I informed Swami Chetananandaji Ramakrishna, who is the secretary of the Institute of Culture. He was the head of Narendapur, and Nitai was very close to him. So I said, Chetanananda, my brother died, just to let you know. Then again I called him, he gave his life for Rambagan. I think you should inform the Rambagan people. Maharaj, right now I am doing everything. So they rented a car that where they carried the dead body. That from Shiva Pratishthan they went to Rambagan, and Rambagan, thousands of people flocked. And they decorated him with flowers and Namaboli, all the Hare Krishna, all these things, his body. They sent me some pictures for us. Later on I shall send some pictures. They covered the whole body, and my grandniece is very, Nita had some, Maharaj, we got an air-conditioned car so that the body will not disintegrate or anything like that. So from Rambagan, straight went to Barakpur. Then all my nephews and nieces, well, we only, and my immediate elder brother, Basudev, he is the president of All India Vivekananda Youth Movement, Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal. He is still alive. He is 2.5, 3 years older than me. Anyhow, I am now almost 85, and he is plus 87, 88. Anyhow, so what happened? So all my people, my relatives, they came in our Barakpur home, which is very just opposition on the bank of the Ganges. Usha visited many times. Nita used to take her to our home, and anyhow, Usha was very close to him. So what happened? Then they all came. Then one of my nephew's daughter was telling, my grandpa, why don't you repeat some mantras for the grandpa, my brother. So they put what is called a sky. So I repeated the peace mantras of the 4 Vedas and some hymns on Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swamiji, and I prayed for him. And then they took the body to Barakpur crematorium. Oh, they are, in front of our house, there is a cremation ground. They are regular to burn the body with woods. So they wanted to do it to the electric furnace. So it is called Annapurna Ghat near Barakpur, Gandhi Ghat. But there is a long line, 9 or 10 people are waiting. Then they took to Khorda. They have 2 new crematorium. And my grandniece was telling, oh, it is just like an ashrama, below Ma Kali, Thakur, Ma, Swamiji, and above is the furnace. So they cremated him, and then they put his ashes into the Ganges. My grandniece did the Shraddha ceremony. My nephew also did in Boru, the Baripur, and my nephew also did the Shraddha ceremony in Barakpur, and Shikha fed people. And then I asked Belurma to offer rice pudding to Thakur, so I sent 20,000 rupees, and so that the monks can have some prasad. And our Purnab also was very devoted to Nitai, who is the priest of the Kali Dakshineshwar, Kali Chambari. So Purnab also yesterday, offered 101 rupees offering to Mother Kali. But Maharaj, when the priest will start worship, I shall carry the dali, the basket in front of the Kali. So that's all I can tell you. This, but you know, he finished his school. I do not know further about him because I kept very little touch with my family after I joined. Just after coming to America, I kept a little bit touch. Otherwise, I completely cut off myself. So I do not know much about his life and all those things, but this much I can tell. Anyhow, he's a beautiful soul, sacrificed his life for the good of many, for the welfare of all. May Thakur Ma Swamiji bless him. Thank you. Usha.
Komalakanta, I think you did a pre-recording,
Yes.
right? So for good sound quality. Do you want to introduce the song or
Okay.
I'll play the video?
Okay. I have a translation. It's a song, a Shama Sangit. This is one that is seen in the, of course, Gospel of Ramakrishna, the cherish tenderly the Mother Shama in the heart. But Swami Ambikanandaji has a very beautiful poetic translation. A few lines from that is tenderly within the heart, place our beloved dark mother, Mother Shama. O mind, see to it that you see and I see, but none else see her. And at the end, he has a very beautiful part. Place the eye of wisdom as a watchman and see to it that he remains on guard. See to it that he remains ever on guard. Tenderly within the heart place our beloved Mother Shama. Kamalakanta says, "Oh, my brother mind, hear this humble plea. When a poor man receives a treasure, does he not cherish it?" So that is the last line there. So this melody I learned in Kolkata from Joy Chakrabarti, and I hope that it is a beautiful offering for the memory of Nitai Da. Jatane hridaye rekho adurini shama mate. Jatane hridaye rekho adurini shama. Mon tui dak arami dekhi, mon tui dak arami dekhi, ar jano keu nahi dekhe. Jatane hridaye rekho adurini শ্যামামাকে কামাদিরে দিয়ে ফাঁকি এ মন বিরলে দেখি রসনারে সঙ্গে রাখি সে যেন মা বলে ডাকে যতনে হৃদয়ে রেখো আদরিণী শ্যামামাকে কুরুচি কুমন্ত্রী যত নিকট হতে দিও না কো কুরুচি কুমন্ত্রী যত নিকট হতে দিও না কো জ্ঞান নয়নে প্রহরী রেখো সে যেন সাবধানে থাকে কমলাকান্তেরি মন ভাই আমার নিবেদন কমলাকান্তেরি মন ভাই আমার নিবেদন দরিদ্রে পাইলে ধন সে কি অযতনে রাখে দরিদ্রে পাইলে ধন সে কি অযতনে রাখে যতনে হৃদয়ে রেখো আদরিণী শ্যামা মাকে
Thank you everybody for joining, and I want to start at the end the memorial with a very upbeat note. Daya is on the way or is at the hospital, and the baby will be here maybe by tonight or tomorrow.
So, yeah,
Everybody's
yeah,
muted.
that's-
Usha, this thing, I think Bhajanananda recorded it.
I recorded Swamiji. I shall save it onto and post it on Vimeo, and I'll send you a link.
Essentially, I've spoken on the YouTube or not.
I could put it, and
Vimeo.
I put it on Vimeo, Swamiji, and then you can give the link to whoever you want.
Pranab
public
will
links.
want to see, and many people in India will want to see.
Oh, then that do that thing so that.
By tonight, Swamiji should be done.
And now, Usham, you please you arrange this thing, say a few words more.
Swami, I don't know. Nitai is my hero. He is that what I would like to be. Nitai was everything, and yet he acted as if he were nothing. It was so easy to get used to him because it took him for granted. Nitai was just there. When I needed something, I called Nitai. Nitai would say, I shall collect for you, I shall do. And it was always, as I said, the best quality, the absolute best way. And I saw he was a man of few words. He didn't talk much about himself or what he was doing. But I just saw Nitai's love through the staff members. The way they treated me as if I was the most precious thing on earth. They would have given their lives for me. And I knew that was because they loved Nitai so much. He made a difference in his life. And I want to tell one story. There's one shop, actually, Rampriya, that's the one we went to. Nitai Da told me that the shopkeeper, he took him out, he and his family were in the slums, and he took them out of the slums and he taught them a business. So this man started a business with selling brass wares, murtis, and koshakushis, and so on. So I knew about this, and just a few years ago, our friend Haley Goswami, he said, I shall take you to Chitpur Road. I know one shop. That shop, they have the best brass and puja shop. So I'll take you there. And I said, okay. So we get to the shop that Nitai Da and I have been going to. So when we get there, the shopkeeper says, Usha Di, how are you? And Haley couldn't believe it.
Everybody knows you.
Yeah, because I've been going to him for years. So he made so much of a difference in so many people's lives. And he considered the people in the slums as my people. Because I asked him once in Belumat, I said, Nitai, I'm here for Durga Puja. I can get you a good spot so you can watch Kumari Puja from a very good seat. And Nitai said, no, I have to be with my people. They worked so hard to have their very own Durga Puja. I must be with my people. And he could have easily just worked there and lived somewhere nicer. He didn't. He lived in the slums. And thanks to him, I got to see things that I would have never seen. The dignity, the honor, the people in the slums, it's a harsh environment, but because of the harshness, they are grander than life. The best artists live in Kumatoli. They make all the murtis and all the art and so on is absolutely fantastic. And that comes out of life is not easy, but the dignity and the humanity in the slums is amazing. And I would not have seen it without Nitai Da. I would have been scared to go into some of these areas. But I walked everywhere. And my favorite place in Calcutta is North Calcutta. I just love it.
You know, I was watching my diary. 28th September, Saturday, Advaita Ashram, Barakpur, Belur Math. He came at 8:15 and to have breakfast with us, and then we left for Barakpur. And he used to come and see me. I generally used to stay in Advaita Ashrama. I needed shirts. So he went, there is a tailor, he went there and bought clothes and made shirts for me. And whatever I needed, he's a doer, you know, he's not a talker. And very responsible and dependable. If you say it can be done, some people, you know, dilly-dally, he was very, very resolute. It can be done. I like that kind of people. They're positive. And another thing, he is so much loved and respected, even from the monks, I tell you frankly, because of his dedication. Well, my younger brother, I'm very proud of him because he did a lot of good work and helped many, 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 many people in this world. May Master bless him. Pajananda, you also met him.
I met him, I think, 2 or 3 times, Swamiji. I went with him. I think we were together. Also, like Kalyani, he took us to to the factory to see the cane work, to see the women sewing, to see some school program. We got to see everything. And then I ran into him a couple more times at Belamat before Thakur's Titi Puja, when they set up to sell items from the thing. So I'd we'd meet him over the years. We'd meet him there as he sets up the cell. But you see, he's like he'd be at Bellermont, not in the VIP section. He'd be in the cell, you know, in the kind of the shops on the edge of the road, trying to sell some things.
Yes, yes.
But so I met him there a few times. I think 3-4 times at Bellermont, and then like one time at the project. And very wonderful.
Yes. I would use some heart break. I told go check your heart.
Yes.
But anyhow, but the one thing is he did not suffer.
Yes.
Just he did not give any trouble, any suffering to anybody. Some people, you know, just heart attack, boom, gone. What to do? Thakur bless him. Bless him. I am really now I have to find out my Calcutta agent who can do work for me. So I told one of the monks, he said, Swami, I shall work for you if I need anything. Anyhow, Usha, thank you for arranging these things. At least so many people will be able to get benefit to get the news from here and everything.
Thank Mulakanta and Vijay and Uma who put the video together. Thank you, everybody.
Rampriya.
Your video, my goodness, that is, my goodness, precious.
Really.
That video, my goodness, precious, precious. I shall watch again.
And Rampriya, whom I tortured in India, taking him all over Chitpur Road. and everywhere.
Rampriya is a, what you call it, is a gypsy. Ashanti.
I will kill you. Ram Gopal Maharaj said, Usha will kill you or something like that.
I was talking about Rampriya that she came to my room. So our assistant secretary was telling, Uncle, he is a famous singer in America. Thousands and thousands of people listen to him. Well, then he can sing in our Ramakrishna festival. Rampriya Das, he composed songs, you know, on taking Thakur's words. And all these American kids dance and sing. I sometimes tell him, what I cannot do, you did for me. You carried Sri Ramakrishna to the American young boys and girls. Anyhow, Usha, thank you very much for arranging things. And
Thank you.
Chetanananda Swami, he worked very hard to put this
I'm
together.
trying to figure out how to make it work. I'm still learning.
And Swami Ambikananda who
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah.
Please post the video on Facebook.
It's being recorded, so it will, as soon as it's, I'll take it from Zoom and post it. So hopefully
Only the video part, Swamiji, just Nitai Das
I
video.
see,
only.
I see. That'd be very nice too, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. A good idea. Okay.
anyhow,
Namo Narayan, Shri Guru Maharaj Ji ki jai.
Jai Guru Maharaj Ji ki
Swami Ji Maharaj Ji ki jai.
Jai. Jai ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
Nitai Da ki jai.